Hey, my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful people, a pleasant afternoon to you. If you have not yet made Jesus Christ your personal Lord and Savior, please feel free to do so. He's the best being ever. Certainly that would be the bestest decision you could ever make. All right, I was on a live last evening and even the evening before, but in particular last evening and some time prior. And we were discussing about, women not knowing how to treat men. It's an old, I suppose an old adage when you hear the saying, men do not know how to treat women. That has been, I don't know if it has been exhausted, but it is still an ongoing hypothesis. It's still an ongoing phenomenon about men not treating women good vis-a-vis women not treating men good. But I want to highlight a reality to a number of men that they may seem not to understand, because unless we try and deal with the root cause, we're going to forever be having this conversation. We're going to forever be having unnecessary drama, unnecessary difficulties, unnecessary challenges in our relationships, because we simply don't understand the power of family, the power of the nuclear family, the husband, the wife, the child, or the children, as the case may be, if you have more than one children. Now, when you're in a household that is matriarchal only, not patriarchal. So matriarch is a mother we're talking about, the female-headed home by the mother. And she, in her best, with her best wit, with her wisdom, with her knowledge, with her understanding, is trying to play a dual role, which unfortunately she's unable to do, because simply for the fact she was not made female. And even though in both men and women we have the masculine and the feminine traits, the XY chromosome, they talk about the Y being the testosterone, the X being the estrogen, and women tend to have XX chromosome more, and the man having XY, where the Y is a predominant or the dominant chromosome, which makes him man, that testosterone, that masculine macho way that they operate and how they look and their body, their physiological makeup, how strong and big they are, and the woman very petite and soft and so on. And with all of that reality, the woman is still unable to be a father. That were the case, and the Bible would not have said, honor thy father and thy mother. It is so ironic, it says thy father and thy mother. Show honor to your parents, because God is showing the not just the complexity of the dual role, but the importance, the harmony that goes behind the unity, the healing that goes behind having both parents. Now, when the woman is trying to be a man, she unfortunately takes on a sort of fake, superficial masculinity, simply because she's not a man. It's like a man trying to be a mother. He will take on a fake, a sort of a superficial femininity. And I'm not talking about being effeminate. I'm talking about him trying to take on the nurturing role, the compassionate role, the caring role, which was not so much embodied and embedded in the man. And that is why God says, all right, you play this role, woman, and man, you play this role. When we put the two together, then we have dynamite. We have, like when you're watching the, New Year's Eve, and you see all the different, firecrackers and all of these things going up, and you're hearing the noise, and you feel so much joy watching it. That is a beautiful thing of the two coming together as one, raising the children. And when you have this sort of fake masculinity, unfortunately, emitting from the woman, and when I say fake, because she is unable to do it like the man, you find that brokenness sets in. It's like eating pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner one day, then the next day eating fried foods for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then the next day eating very greasy foods, and expecting that it will contribute to your longevity. It doesn't work like that. You need the man to teach you things that the woman is unable to do. And you need the man in the household to teach you how to treat a man, because you are a man and you know what it is that you want from the woman. A woman can only guess. She can only use her own knowledge as a woman, assuming based on how she thinks from just the mere human perspective. Because she's human and you're human, she assumes subliminally that this is what he wants. If I do this, this is what he wants, which many times may not be the case. And that is why we see a lot of rifts and wars going on, because too many children grow up to be adults, have no clue about who a man really is, have no clue about what a man truly wants, because they were not surrounded, they were not socialized. Every day seeing how the man operates with the woman and hearing what daddy wants, saying, oh, this is what men like, this is what men want. I'm sure if you check the statistics of people who have successful marriages, generally, not all the time, generally, predominantly, I guarantee you for those marriages, that are not necessarily Christian marriages, because if you know the Christian divorce rate is almost neck and neck with the secular. Chances are these children came from a healthy nuclear family. So they saw that embodied. So they have an understanding of what it is a man expects of them, because daddy showed it to them already. And I've often said that God has imparted in men the ability to build confidence in their child, whether it's their female child or their male child. Men tend to have that ability. That is why you'll generally find people from single parent homes, they struggle with their self-esteem. They struggle with their identity. The identity, somehow God just said, men, this is what you're going to impart in your children. Just as how the mother has the wonderful ability of, generally speaking now, giving the care and the nurturing that the man really, just is unable to do. Similarly for the men, he's able to give you that confidence and saying you can do this. And that is why if you notice with the story of Jacob and Isaac, his brother, they went for the father's blessing. There is something very powerful when it comes from the male human species. There is just something about the male imparting that sort of, I'm giving you the torch to go and light the world, and giving that to you. So he builds that confidence in the child, male or female. He teaches a woman, this is what men like. And the mother teaches the son, this is what women like. The father teaches the son, this is how you operate as a man, and this is how you treat women. And so we have that beautiful web, that beautiful entanglement. And when they're entangled, they become one. And this is how the harmony is created. So woman doesn't have to now guess and go around the world and back to now understand how to treat a man. And usually that comes through many divorces sometimes, or maybe one divorce, or just the abuse, or constant and frequent arguments. And then, oh, finally I know how to ride the bicycle, because I realize my husband doesn't like this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. Learning the hard way. Men, women do not know you, because many of them came from single parent homes. They see you. They talk to you in the workplaces. They talk to you in the schools, but they don't live with you. Jamaicans have a saying that says, see me and live with me, they're two different things, and that is absolutely true. You get to see different idiosyncrasies. You get to see some things that people hide, but you can't really hide that at home. It has to come out at some point, because you can't pretend 24 hours every day. The real you has to come out. So you see how he sits, how he speaks, things that annoys him, things that he likes, things that he does not like, movies that he watches, or how he eats, what he likes. That's the importance of having a male father, not just having a brother, because he's learning growing up how to be a man. And sometimes the men grow very overly emotional, because they don't have the father to say, son, yes you can cry, yes you can do all of this, but I want you to balance it a little bit, because I don't want you to have that sort of beta male thing about you, or you become both you and your woman, you're too emotional. You can't have two bulls in the pen. Cannot have it. So I want to teach you how to balance your emotions. Your feelings are important, but you balance them. So women don't know you. That is why you are having this tug and war. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of them line there. Please, 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 please.